As a child, I lived with mom and dad in a rundown house. We weren't exactly well off, but we made it by okay. We lived in a rural neighborhood on the outskirts of town. It was typically pretty quiet on our street. There wasn't much crime in the area, thankfully. Well, I say thankfully, but at least a criminal would make more sense. The experiences I had as a child could never be explained. Every night, when it was the darkest hour, I heard tapping on my window. It wasn't really loud or violent. It was simply periodically throughout the night. I was too afraid to look most of the time, until one night, I gathered the courage to finally look outside. I swung open the curtains, and there was nothing. Quivering, I closed the curtains swiftly and hopped back into bed, hiding under the blanket. A couple moments passed, and I heard it again. Over and over. It wouldn't stop. I covered my ears. Go away! Please! Make it stop! Mom and Dad woke to my screaming and came rushing to my aid. They both busted into my room asking me if I'm okay. Then they stopped in place and froze when they looked at the bedroom window. It was wide open. What the hell? Dad said as he closed it shut. Come on, sweetie. Come lay down with us for the night, Mom said. The next day I was silent. I just had one of the most traumatic experiences of my life. I went to school like nothing was wrong. Deep down, I was relieved to be away from that window. Unfortunately, I'd be returning home in the afternoon. Getting off the school bus, I was almost reluctant to go inside. I looked all around the house for the creature that opened my window. I found nothing, of course. As the night grew darker, my anxiety grew with it. I didn't want to go to bed, but Mom and Dad assured me everything was okay. I believed them eventually and went to sleep. I was awoken hours later by the tapping on my window once more. It was slightly louder this time and more rapid. I shivered as my room quickly became cold. Covering my face up to my eyes with my blanket, I peered at the curtains and could faintly make out a shape outside the window. All I could see was the silhouette of something just standing there, with its clawed hand tapping on the window repeatedly. Go away! I shouted. Mom and Dad seemingly didn't hear me this time. What do you want from me? I said to the creature. It stopped and stood there in silence for a moment. It looked directly at me without saying a single word. After staring at me for what seemed like an eternity, it slowly faded away. It was as if it was never even there. I couldn't get to sleep again that night, no matter how hard I tried. The next day passed, and I was once more plunged into the night. I went to bed, begging Mom and Dad to check the window. I told them that I saw a monster outside of it. They didn't believe me, of course. They never do. I know what I heard, though. I know what I saw. Every single night, the creature came to my window with its rhythmic tapping. I couldn't block it out, and I certainly never got it to stop. This thing followed me throughout my years. Even when we moved, the creature still visited my window. It only got worse. The creature was relentless. At times, the tapping was more and more rapid and violent. It was hard to keep any friends. I couldn't maintain a social life with this situation. I grew up mostly alone. What would I tell my friends if I had any? Would they even believe me? This thing has never spoken to me before, but I could tell there was a reason for it to follow me. Why else would it stalk me so relentlessly? This is a question that would burn in my mind for many years to come. I wish I knew what it was. Maybe then I could find a way to stop it. My efforts to discover anything new about this creature were always fruitless. I wasted countless hours and countless days researching this thing. I always came up short. The frightful truth was, there was no answer out there. There wasn't even any proof that this thing existed. I wish I could blame it on my imagination, but I know he is real. I can feel his presence. I get that ominous feeling of being watched by somebody as he taps on the glass. I still to this day do not know what it wants with me. I can still hear that damn tapping. It doesn't matter where I'm at, what window or mirror I'm in front of or near, he still taps on it, trying to get my attention. I'm beginning to lose my sanity as this thing has taken hold on my life for far too long. I can't stand it anymore. Maybe if I simply make sure I'm nowhere near any glass, I'll be fine. It's the present day, and I've locked myself in the attic in my house. The window's up here. I should be safe.